Good morning, dear children. Today we will continue our lesson Kassim's Old Shoes. This video is the second part of the lesson. So in the previous video we have seen that Kassim is a very miser man. People used to talk a lot of things about Kassim. Kassim was so miser that he did not buy soap, clothes or shoes. His shoes were as old as 20 years. They have become very heavy due to regular mending. Everybody make fun of his shoes. So one day what happened? Kasim decided to bath. Kasim used to take bath once in a year. So one morning he decided that today is the bath day and he went to take bath. On the stairs of the bath he left his shoes and went to take a bath. Another man came, and when he saw the terrible shoes of Kasim's, he ordered the servant to remove the shoes. The servant took the shoes and put them in a dark corner. When Kasim returned after the bath, he found that his shoes are not there. In place of that, he found someone else's shoes. He wore them and went away. So now, let us continue the chapter. Let's read. When the other man came out of the baths, his shoes were not there. He soon smelled Kasim's shoes and brought them out of their dark corner. He went to Kasim's shop. So now what happened when the another man came out after taking his bath, he saw that his shoes are not there. In place of them, he smelled that Kasim's shoes are there. So he took them out of the dark corner. He bring them out and then he took them and went to Kasim's shop. Thief, he roared, give me my shoes. So when he reached Kassim's shop, he shouted loudly that you are a thief, I want my shoes. Now roared, R-O-A-R-E-D, roared means to shout very loudly and very angrily. Kassim had to give the man his shoes. If you steal my shoes again, I shall call the police, said the owner of the shoes. Now, take your shoes. The angry man shouted at Kassim. Kassim was angry and ashamed. He threw the shoes over his garden wall. Now, Kassim had to return the shoes to the man, and the man warned him that if again you will steal my shoes, I will call the police. And then he gave the shoes to Kassim and he shouted on him also. So Kassim, with this incident, he was very angry and he was also very ashamed. The ashamed means he felt shame on himself. So due to this, he threw the shoes over the garden wall. An old lady was hit on the road. She died. So now when he threw the heavy shoes out of the wall, out of the garden wall, outside a lady was hit by the shoes. And because the shoes were very heavy, due to that she died. Her family shouted, "Murder!" The police looked at the shoes. They recognized them at once. So Kasim was arrested. So when the family saw that the old woman has died, they shouted that it's a murder, and they took the shoes to the police. When the police saw the shoes, they recognized all at once that whose shoes are there. These are Kasim's shoes. So they arrested him. The judge said to Kasim, either pay 20,000 gold pieces to the murdered woman's family or you will be hanged. So the judge gave his judgment. He said that you have two options. Either you pay 20,000 gold pieces to the family or you will be hanged till death. Gold pieces are the gold coins. Kasim paid 20,000 gold pieces and was free again. He took off his shoes, jumped on them, kicked them and threw them into the river. So now Qasim had to pay the money to the family. He gave them 20,000 gold pieces and now he was free. And now what he did, because the shoes were a matter of trouble for him, he took off his shoes, he jumped on them with anger, and then he kicked them, and then he threw the shoes in the river. The fish ate the shoes and died one day. The fisherman found the shoes in his net. They were so heavy that the net got torn and all the fish escaped. The fisherman was left with the shoes. Qasim's shoes, he shouted. Qasim will pay for my net. The fisherman was a huge, strong man. He took the shoes to Qasim's shop and threw them against the wall. Glass bottles fell from the shelves. So now, when Qasim threw the shoes in the river, the fish ate some part of the shoes, and because of the shoes, the fish died. Now, one fisherman, he found the shoes in his net. The shoes were so heavy that due to the weight, his net with which he used to catch the fish, that net got torn, and all the fish escaped from the net. The fisherman was having now only Qasim's shoes, not the fish. When he looked at the shoes, he understood that these shoes belonged to Qasim, and he shouted that Qasim will have to pay for my net. Now, the fisherman was a strong man, he was very strong. He took the shoes to Qasim's shop and threw them. And when those shoes hit the wall, glass bottles fell from the shelves. Your shoes torn my net, yelled the fisherman. He picked up Qasim in his huge hand and shook him like a rat. Now, the fisherman said, yelled, Y-E-L-L-E-D. Yelled means to shout angrily. So he said that because of your shoes, my net is torn. And then, because he was very strong, what he did, he took Qasim in his hand. He picked up Qasim with one hand and he shook him as if Qasim is nothing but a rat. After the fisherman had left, Qasim buried the shoes in the garden. Soon the news spread in the town that Qasim had buried a treasure in his garden, and a crowd of people were seen looking for it. No one believed him, and eventually Qasim paid each one of them a gold coin to get rid of them. Now, after the fisherman's incidents, what happened? Qasim took his shoes and he dug a hole in his garden and buried his shoes there. Now, while he was burying his shoes, some people saw him, and soon the news spread in the town that Qasim was hiding a treasure in the garden. And to find the treasure, a lot of people gathered there. He was trying to make the people understand that there is no treasure in his garden, but because Qasim is very miser, the people did not believe him. And to send the people away from his home, he had to give each one of them, to all the crowd, to each one of them, one gold coin. Qasim picked up the shoes in despair and ran to the judge's office. What can I do with these terrible shoes? He asked. He begged the judge to send his shoes to prison. From today, I have no shoes. Please write in your report, Your Lordship, that Qasim does not own any shoes. He hasn't any money either. So, fed up with the incident of his shoes and giving money again and again to the people, now Qasim took his shoes and in despair means disappointed, very sad mood. Despair means very sad mood, not happy. So, sadly, he went to the judge's office and there he put his shoes and said that, what should I do with these shoes? And then he begged, he requested the judge that he should send these shoes to the prison. And then he declared that from today I do not have any shoes. That means I'm not the master of any shoes. I don't own any shoes. And he also said that your lordship means it is a word used for the judge. Many a times you must have heard these words in movies or in TV. So your lordship is a word used for judge. So he said that your lordship, this thing you should mention in your report, that Qasim does not own any shoes now, and also he does not have any money. The judge watched Kassim go. The miserly old man was walking barefoot. He has learned a lesson, the judge said to his servant. But keep the shoes. If Kassim is mean and miserly again, we will show him the shoes. So, when Kassim went, the judge was watching him. The miserly old man, that means the Qasim, he was walking barefoot. Barefoot means without any shoes. So he was walking without any shoes. So the judge said to his servant, while looking at Qasim, he said that he has learned a lesson, but we should keep the shoes safe. If in future Qasim will turn mean and miserly again, then they plan to show him the shoes again. So from this lesson, we understood that we should not be miser when we have everything, and should use our resources for our welfare and for others' help also. Hope all of you have understood this video and this lesson. Thank you very much. Have a good day.